It's up there for her to use it, to call it to order.
Feels sacred.
Just keep staring at it.
But it's like an elf on the shelf, like, it,
Don't touch
How did I
it.
get put right beside you? I don't like
It
that.
loses its magic.
why?
Trash can down there?
It'll be over on my head.
No, I'll take it. That's why I took it.
And the good part is if Ramsey gets out of truck mine, you just whop him in the noggin. That's probably the best place to put him.
That's what I just said, shut, pay attention.
Keep him in line.
Okay.
Crystal does, she throat punches me.
All right. It's 12:05, so we'll call the meeting to order. And our roll call is going to be out of sorts, so just pay attention.
Melody Allen,
Here.
John Gideon,
Here.
Holly Goforth,
Here.
Terry Plasmeyer,
Here.
Heather Stadel,
Here.
Doug Smith,
Here.
Ramsey Stewart,
Here.
Chris Wall,
Here.
Neil Wilkinson.
Okay. We have a quorum, so we'll stand and say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have a motion for the approval of the November 12th minutes?
I make a motion.
Doug
Second.
motion, John Gideon second. Doug.
Gideon,
Yes.
Goforth,
Yes.
Plasmeyer,
Yes.
Stadel,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
I make a motion to make this pie the official pie of Park Board.
Ramsey says the pie is delicious.
I do want to introduce Scout and Huck. They're job shadowing through GoCaps. They're here today to watch and take up space.
And watch us look overly important
Yeah.
up here. Like,
Yeah, they asked.
Hey, we have public for a change. That's a good thing.
They asked what they should wear.
oh. Yes, do we have any public comments? Would you two like to say something in our public comments section?
I think they play pickleball. I think they've used the
Oh.
pickleball courts, maybe.
Yeah? Okay. I skipped that, sorry. I did an approval. Anyways, up to the Ashley Park update.
Well, things are going along nicely. The contract for the concession stand and all the bonding documents and all that stuff are being delivered today, so they should start work on that. We have, anybody that's been out there has noticed, we've taken all the bleachers out. The building itself has been dressed down as much as we could, got anything usable out of it, hot water heaters, hand dryers, stools, urinals, stainless steel sinks and all that stuff. The door, the window, the serving window, all that stuff will be repurposed, and we'll save a little bit of money when we come time to put it back in the new building. So the fire department's been out there the last couple of days playing in the building, practicing rappelling and some other things that they do, and have filmed it and stuff. So it's been kind of neat to watch them play in the facility.
Train, not
Training.
play.
Okay. Okay, training. You're correct. It looks like play. But yes, it's training. I apologize. So that'll be good. Hopefully they'll start taking the electric. The first step of this process after what we've done will be to take the ball field switchgear and all that lighting stuff out of the building itself so we can repurpose that into the new building. And then they'll start demo as soon as they get that done. That's all scheduled, so hopefully by the end of next week you'll see a flat spot up there instead of where the building is. And they're started, Guy from Thomas Builders will be here this afternoon, so he's probably been here 3 times, so they're really chasing this pretty hard. So I feel very comfortable as long as the weather will cooperate somewhat at all. We should have a concession stand by ball season. So I'm really excited about that part of it. Those obviously that have been down the other end, the asphalt's in. It does have some optics that look kind of crazy. It looks like it slopes way more than it does, but I've got pictures as part of the verification process for the asphalt to make sure it is flat. It's supposed to be 1% grade. That lets the water sheet off of it. It has to have some fall, because if it doesn't, the water will stand on it forever. I mean, it'll just hold water. So it does have less than 1% of fall, which is where it's supposed to be, so it's in really good shape on that part of it. But optically, if you stand down on the other end, when you look at 200 feet of asphalt with 1% of fall, and 200 feet is a foot. So as you look across it, yes, it goes downhill, and then you put in the creek and the hillside, it does look a little more optically bad than it really is. It is not outside of specs at all.
Could you give just a quick update on the turkey trot?
Oh, okay,
For
yep.
everybody?
Yep, and let me finish this part, though.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Fence bid comes in next Tuesday, so we'll start on the fence. We have the light pole bolts and stuff. We're gonna drill holes in the next couple days for the light poles for the pickleball, and then whoever gets the bid on the fencing will go up shortly thereafter, because that's pretty much an in-stock thing, just a matter of getting on the schedule. So we should have a fenced and lighted area, and that's up pretty soon, depends on what the weather does to us, and sounds like it's gonna be a little chilly, but not really much precipitation in the near future. Turkey trot was great, our first year at it, especially under the short time frame. It went off very well. Next year we'll have it where you sign up online, and that'll make the process a little easier. I don't know obviously we don't have the numbers from all the other years of it, but I've been to most of them, not every one of them, but most of them, and it seemed to be as well attended as any I've ever been to. I think everybody had a great time, and I look forward to making it bigger and better in the next couple of years. The school with the Hive Grind, I'll get it spit out here in a minute, supported us with a lot of youth volunteers, so we're gonna make a nice donation from some of that sponsor money and some of the t-shirt money that was left over to support that club and those activities.
Christmas in the park?
I can't see that far, so I gotta bring it up on my phone. We served 750 hot dogs, Arvis Bank did, which was more. Last year, they bought 750, but we were trying to pass them out at the end. We ran out of hot dogs with probably 45 minutes to an hour left in the event. Same with hot chocolate. Last year, we poured some out at the end. This year, we ran out by 6:45, and that's 30 gallons of hot chocolate. Over 300 families went through the Santa Claus line. She has them put their name on the nice list. She said at least 280 kids wrote their name on there, and some just go on by it. That was the biggest one that they said they've ever had with us, and they've been here. This is their 4th year, I believe, that they've came to the event and did the Santa for us. So we've guessed with estimated about 2,500 people attended throughout the evening between the school groups and their parents coming, hay rides, and everything like that. So it was probably one of our larger events. Obviously, the weather helped. It was cold, but it wasn't miserable out there like in some years. Our giveaway, the blankets, was a big hit. We ran out, obviously. We had a line of more than 100, and they started getting there about 4 o'clock to get in line for the blankets. So they were a big hit this year as the giveaway. I want to thank Route 66 Club. They parked cars for us. And then Arvis Bank obviously cooked all the hot dogs, bought the hot dogs and stuff like that. They also helped with volunteers for the turkey trot. Arvis did. They had a few people, so they were a big help to us and always have been.
The Santa was cool.
Santa
That really is.
they do an awesome job, especially since we moved them into the tent.
Yeah.
There's a few pictures. That's
That
like
one.
the setup of what it looks
That's
very
insane.
good for Santa and everything. I think the heated tent was also a big hit.
Yeah.
That's just a inflatable bounce station provided. You take pictures and stuff like that in front of. They did say they're looking at maybe an ice skating rink, so we talked to them
We had a long conversation about that.
what could maybe happen with that, but they are looking into that for as something that they can put up or take down and stuff, so we'll see what happens with it. There's just some of the choirs. We had choirs from the high school, the middle school, and Jolie Barber. They all sing for about 30 minutes. A chocolate. Carriage ride, we had two rides for the carriage rides, and that line stays lined up most of the night and stuff, so we try to get them through there as quick as we can, but it's a great event.
Yep.
You guys do a great job at running that event too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
You
It
do.
is a great event. It's a great event for the community, and you guys do a fantastic job.
It's a lot of fun. It is. It's a long day. And we start being outside at about 8 o'clock in the morning and pretty much are there till 9 o'clock at night. So by the end of the night, you're tired of being in the cold, especially when it's cold or windy. This Friday wasn't so bad, but sometimes it can be a long, long day. I'm really glad to have the horses. The horses are a very popular part of this event. Those that are in the horse world know that those aren't the shires that we normally have. Still the same group, but the actual shire horses were at a 6-pull hitch in Ohio at a big parade. So Sean wasn't there, and I think that's the first time since they've been doing it that the owner wasn't actually at the event, so.
The
But
two
still great.
carriage rides were
We-
nice.
Yeah, we still have two carriage
Sped it
horses,
along.
and they
Yep.
still do a great job and everything else. It's just not the big shire horses that we normally have that are black.
Did they,
My mom noticed that right up front. Well, where were the shires? Mom.
I wonder though. Did the food truck people, did
They
they
were
give a
very happy
good?
with what they,
Yeah.
we only had 2 this year, but they
Yeah.
were both really happy, and we always let them know beforehand that we're giving away free hot dogs, so they know that, but yeah, they're very happy with the turnout and everything for them, so they asked to come back next year, so, if they keep coming back, they're obviously happy and everything, so it's a good thing.
Good.
Still want to get reindeer one year, but
Man, the list. How long
Yeah.
we been on the waiting list?
the list is kind of like we do with the horses. As soon as this ended, we told them next year, hey, go ahead and put us down first Friday in December, and that's how there's a place in South St. Louis that has reindeer, and every year I call them, and they're like,
There's a place here in town. There's somebody local here that is advertising with their reindeer farm.
I guess I need to get a hold of them then. I
Yeah,
know this
I didn't know
company has
anything about
came
it.
to some churches in town and did stuff, the one I've contacted, but they're the same every
I forget
event
where.
they have, they get booked
Oh,
a year in advance.
At the Christmas parade, they were handing out, I'll look it up and I'll see what I can find. But they were handing out cards. I'll find it.
That'd be
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
That's your
Ozark,
man,
they've got
probably
reindeer.
knows.
I don't know if they
Come
travel
bring-
with them,
Yeah.
but they've got reindeer.
Yep. Okay.
Anyway, we've been trying for several years to get reindeer.
Show me reindeer,
Yep.
so I'll contact, that's who they're called.
Okay. 5-year plan.
Is it 5 years or,
5-year capital improvement plan.
that was first? Okay.
Yeah, read that, Elliot.
I think we've got it.
That's why I gave everybody a paper.
Can you go check and see if it'll go past it?
Yeah, there's the cap, yeah.
There's cap. This is the same thing we basically have had for a couple years, just updated for this new year. Move some numbers around a little bit to make it match the budget and make sure we're staying within the numbers we need it to be. You guys are just gonna look at it and we'll actually approve it at the next month and, next meeting in January, but that way you can kind of see what it is. No surprises in there, there's nothing changed or anything like that, other than we moved up the painting of the slide structure at Boswell Aquatic Center. It has no rust damage or anything like that, it just is faded. We need to look at painting it and re-gel coating or whatever they consider that of the slide tubes to make them slick and fast again. Just wear and tear, they're 15 years old now, or 17 years old, whatever it is, and they're getting just need some love, a little bit of care. So guys, look at that, see if you think anything on there would need to be changed or something. If I would want to change something or discuss a changing around, the parking lot up front, after seeing what we did in the back parking lot and how nice it's going to make that entrance, I think maybe the front parking lot should become more of a priority instead of waiting out as far as we've got it pushed back. And then that'll also help us see where the shelters and the water facilities and stuff like that goes. I think maybe infrastructure should come a little sooner up there than where we've got it. So kind of keep that in mind, and we'll discuss it more at the next time. We may pull it up if that's what you guys would like to do, because I think the front parking lot needs some addressing. We've had a couple trucks pull in there, big trucks, and they can get out, but it's a pain. If that lot was full of cars, I don't know that they could get out. And just because of the design of it, there's a, it's kind of one way in, one way out. I think we need to expand it and build it with a loop in it, so those delivery vehicles or any other kind of trucks that would get in there can actually get out.
Yeah, I think you'd probably want to do that before you, with the walking trail. Mm-hmm,
yes.
Then you could adapt it, or,
Yes,
you
sir.
know, you could
Yeah.
push that out and adjust that walking trail, so.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So I'm meeting with Brennan next couple days to look at that parking lot. He'll give me an estimated cost on it, and we can discuss it more in the next meeting before we finalize where we actually go with our stuff. And what I will do is if that number's pretty palatable that he gives us, Elliot and I will go through the budget and kind of work some numbers around to give you something to look at if we want to make that change.
I do have a question.
Uh-huh.
In 2030, first line item, the Ashley Park Turf Play Area in Shelter 1.
That was just that turfed area we were talking about where you could play foursquare and hacky
some
sack,
hills
and then
and
have some
stuff, like
hills and
built-in
slides
hills and stuff,
so it'll
but-
be for the littler kids to be able to play right by the shelter with mom and dad there instead of being way off at the play, because the shelter is going to be a little distance like it is now, away from the playground. Be an area for kids to play, not so far away from mom and dad's.
It was
Instead of
something
going
on
all
that
the playgrounds.
drawing that.
Yeah, it was on.
Yeah, I kind of
It's on
remember
there.
that, but I couldn't remember if the dog park was going to get moved over to
Yeah, the dog park
corner.
gets moved, no, the dog park gets moved on the other side of the building.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and gets
I
expanded
like
and
that
stuff.
land we bought last year. the year
Yeah,
before.
yeah. And then so I didn't know if that's what that was, or 'cause we had just done, or you guys had just done the
No.
fall protection. I didn't know if that
No,
was.
No, fall protection's already done. Yeah, this will be the new thing. Next meeting, I'll bring the drawing, so you guys can kind of see what we're talking about as well while we're talking. I apologize, we should have had the drawings here. We can bring them in and put them on an easel so you can kind of see what's going on. That way, when we say we're moving this or moving that, or changing this around, or we're talking about a playground, you can see exactly what we're talking about. I look at it all the time, so I can remember, I understand why you wouldn't necessarily.
And the shade, and in the 27, the shade structure top replacements, that's Nelson replacements?
Yeah.
That's just at Nelson?
Yes.
'Cause
Yeah,
those
those
are
are
the
the ones we
replacement
put in
ones.
originally. And honestly, if they continue to hold up like they are, that's probably going to be able to be pushed back.
And the other question was the Boswell Aquatic, I know, with the slide restoration and shades, and I know we talked about last time, you were saying how they're starting to hurt your back and things like that. Is that another item that we plan to maybe have more discussion on, to plan to put 80 to it in a short, is that one that we might be pushing farther back
I would-
out within the bigger
My
conversation?
recommendation, sitting here right now, and depending on what the board wants to do, I think probably we would want to go ahead and fix the slide part and maybe not do the painting. If that slide would get moved to a new location, I'd hate to paint it and do all the work on it, and then take it apart, move it, and then put it back together. And
Right.
the other thing, Elliot mentioned a great thing this morning, was if we painted a new color when we move it, how much nicer, make it look brand new again when we put it in a new location, if that's what we choose to do. So I think, yes, I think maybe we go ahead and fix the slide chute part, which will be way significantly less than the 80,000 we're talking there, because it'll just be buffing and polishing the fiberglass part of it. I think that still needs to be done fairly soon, but the painting could probably be put off because it is not rusting or any damage. You know, it's not going to occur any damage because we don't paint it. It just looks faded, so it just needs painted. So yes, that's a great question, and I think that's something we definitely need to look at if the discussion is to move that pool somewhere else, and that makes
so
sense.
if we have a few items like that, I mean, if we hold off on shade structure top replacements, some of that slide restoration, I was just thinking of some of those funds being then reallocated maybe to quicker,
Yes, ma'am.
actually, that we need to probably line item out more what we need to put those funds to for actually to.
Okay, yes, we can do that. I think that's a great idea, and I mean, obviously, we've seen, as we've gone along, we've had more funds, we've pulled up stuff and items, and that's, I think we need to continue doing that. It looks great for the public, and it also gets the projects done quicker. So yes, I think that's a great idea, and we will address that.
Just going back to, and I know this isn't capital improvement, but going back to pickleball courts in the lower Ashley, Placer AI. Is it to where the city, once that stuff gets completed, we can get a snapshot and see what that's brought?
Yes, sir,
park?
yeah, that'll be maybe a little harder to track because we don't have tournaments per se to do it, but yes, we can geofence that area off and look and see what kind of activities there's getting there. Obviously, all you have to do is go by Wallace anytime and see how many people are there playing all the time, so it's obvious it is definitely drawing people. And this will
And I
too.
just don't mean, pickleball.
Yep.
I mean,
Just
like,
the whole park
bringing
itself.
it, driving it to the park.
Yes, I think that's a great idea, yeah. I think Placer's gonna be great for tracking this stuff, just especially when you look at, I'm really excited, we're gonna do Christmas in the park and go back for 4 or 5 years on Christmas in the park, see what it looks like. Never thought of doing that till just the other day, and it's like, oh, we ought to do that.
It would be good data to have. Have you got, where is Placer AI now? Have you
So,
guys-
well, I had sent an email earlier when we were placing the agenda together and asked, and Lacey responded to an email. But they're working on it through council. There's something coming up on council because they're still adjusting with the names and you weren't here. That's right, I forget. But the way that the contract had been set up with them, they've got to do some legal things to clear out downtown's name specific, put under the city, so we can get credentials for login and password stuff. So right now, it's still in progress, but it's on council's agenda in January, early part of January. So I think we're still kind of in a hold at the moment.
Yeah, remember we did the partnership with downtown, and Sarah was going to, or the downtown director was going to be in charge of that information and stuff. And then, so the naming kind of got challenging with the turnover and stuff down there, so we're trying to figure out how to make that all work back out where the city has more control of it again.
On the sidewalk in 2028, is it gonna be expanded enough to have like the 5Ks in?
That's what I'd like to see us do. That, obviously, that money won't probably do all of it at one time, so we'll just have to see what's there. And that's why there's money in every year. If you notice, a lot of years there's lights and sidewalks just to cover stuff that we need to either repair or expand. But yes, we will have to cross that bridge on what the cost of a walking trail and what it looks like once we get some of these other projects done and see where the money runs into. I didn't get too carried away with it because of the 2 new parks coming online as well. So, but yes, my ultimate goal would be to have a 5K and never leave the park, and not run multiple laps either. It's fun if you can do it. Obviously, there'll be some overlap, but not much.
Well, on that one too, I would think council would want, would like that as well, just for the safety component, not to
Yeah.
block
Well, you get
streets off,
Yep.
if you're doing a 5K, this is where it's at, and it's inside city limits.
Yep. Yeah,
lot
it
safer.
really is a neat idea, and it's just tying in the Winfrey property and everything else and making the route. I did take a gator and a measuring wheel, and I got real close on just a drive through the park to see where I could get it. I got within about a half a mile, just in a real quick trip.
Any other questions or comments for the 5-year? No? Regular budget discussion.
Big numbers up there, so I hope anybody can see them, but that's why you have the paper in front of you. Basically, this is what's in the budget for this year, and as we typically do, we don't adjust it much. From year to year, we may make an adjustment, knowing that we may be building something, add lumber, or take out lumber, or concrete, or something along those lines, may adjust some of those. But typically, our budget numbers just don't change much. We look at what's on there, and that's where we go from. And looking at this year's budget, it looks really good as far as just wanting to run the same number for next year. As for fuel and everything like that, the only thing I would like to, and we've talked about it in the past, and I think we even had some real good discussions on it, is changing 2 part-timers into a full-time position. I think that in today's world, it's so hard to get employees. It's hard to keep full-time employees, much less part-time or seasonal employees. And as the parks have expanded over the years, used to be real easy. 6 months was a good enough period of time to have a seasonal employee. But now with Christmas in the park and the turkey trot and all these baseball tournaments starting and stuff, 6 months doesn't cover us. We're 2 weeks short of, in the spring season, really having the help we need. And then in the fall season, we're 4 to 6 weeks short of what we have to have. So I think we really need to look at combining 2 of these positions and making them into a full-time position.
Will, in the in the meetings to come, will we be getting a like, this is a little cumbersome to look at and go through, like, is finance gonna provide us with a good snapshot of a P&L statement or a budget of here's where we stood in 25 and here's where the projected for 26 and what are we gonna get that, or is this?
Because this is all fiscal year 26, right?
That's
Yeah,
what
that's-
we're using.
this
This
is what
is
we're-
live right now through
Yeah,
November.
so-
That's
Yeah.
what we've done so
Yeah,
far
like
through
year to
November.
date.
Yep.
Yeah,
June 1st or
July 1st
1st.
through, it's like November, the end of November
Of 26.
of right now,
Right now,
25.
yeah.
So the,
25.
it's active. That's what
yeah,
we're
This
going
is
on.
our like,
Yeah,
Like
it's
our
the 26
revenue-
budget, but it's
Yeah.
actually to right now, it's through 20.
July 1st starts FY 26 for
Right.
us. So,
Yes.
yes, this is
Fiscal year
FY
26.
26. Yes.
Yes.
Like our sales tax, we brought in 458,000 so far this year.
Yep. We can, Ellie and I can put this in a condensed version and make it a lot easier to look at if that's what you're asking.
seems like that's a finance request, right? Not so much for you, I'm just saying, like, I would.
We have the ability to generate any reports, and I can take this opportunity to introduce our new budget analyst. This is Emily Lester. She joined us first of November. So her responsibility solely is budget preparation and budget monitoring. So
Oh.
as we go forward citywide, so should be available to kind of help craft that. We've got most of the kinks worked out with our new financial system. Our issues are still remaining are in 25, the year that ended June 30th, but we've got good numbers for 26. So as we go forward, we might just caveat some of the 25 actual numbers, just because of the system configuration, but we can get all that information for you. We'll just put Emily to work, get whatever information you need.
Does anybody want to add to what you'd like to see?
Yeah, of course, it sounds like you're still working on fiscal 25, like year-end numbers, but yeah, that would be nice, like a side-by-side.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can get you 25 actuals as we got them. I would just put, I would put an asterisk on the 25 actuals. They're close. They may not just be because of the data conversion issues. But what I'll probably get you is 24 actuals, 20, to even start to see if the trend.
That'd be
is out-
great,
out
because
of
we
the-
haven't
well, we can get
seen,
you
it's been
24,
so
25,
long.
26, and then we can get you projected 26.
That'd be great,
Yeah.
I think, for us to just kind of,
Yeah, we can have that for you.
And this is through the end of November?
Yes.
So we're tracking a little bit below budget as far as revenue.
But yeah, those numbers would kind of help give some advice and guidance
Yeah.
on what to do.
what to do for the 5-year,
And Doug, I don't know
before we
that
make final decisions on that.
we got our November into that, because I don't
It's
know when
quite
it
a- yeah, it's-
processes to us or whatever on there.
Yep. And you also have to remember too, because of the way our revenue comes in, it's not
It's not-
every month
yeah, every
is, you
month
don't
the
every
same.
month you
You're
get,
probably gonna get a
you know,
big shot
20%
here
every
December.
month,
Right.
June is a huge month for our activities. May and June are huge for activities, but probably not so much on sales tax.
Yeah,
Might be a
December's
little lower
gonna
on
be a
tax.
great sales
Yeah,
tax
yeah.
month.
November,
Yeah.
December, January are your big sales tax. So it can lag a little bit. As long as it's close, those numbers are always promising, as long as they're trending close.
We can share with you a capital and operating budget that we put together for the next 5 years. John, you've seen that. right?
Yep.
That shows what we think we're gonna generate in revenues conservatively in terms of, don't estimate additional significant revenue growth. But anticipates kind of salary increases, those contractual
Cost.
increases.
I think it was-
And then fits what we've got available in the capital budget, so that we're staying within the reserves. So we can share that too with
Yep.
you. That's what, kind of showing the full, what I've asked John to do, and Elliot to do, is kind of start to look at this on a 5-year cycle. Doesn't have to be exact, but if we've got an issue with trends, we want to be conservative on the revenue side, and very liberal on the expenditure side, and see where we get, so we're not surprised if something pops up along the line. So we can share all that data.
Okay, yeah. It's nice to meet you, Emily. Welcome. Okay,
If I can get with her, I will try to get with her and get that information get to you before, so you have a couple weeks to look at it before our January meeting, okay? That way you're not walking in here and looking at it for the first time fresh.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay, and since I really didn't get a chance to talk to Carrie about this, and I apologized to her just a few minutes ago for that, but because of the holidays and stuff, I had a little trouble getting hold of the superintendent out at Jolie Barber, Rochelle Jennings, and finally did at Christmas in the Park. She would express the interest in the 2 sets of bleachers. We have the 4 sets out at Ashley, which is 8 total bleachers. Sean and Public Facilities Management, the fairgrounds, whatever, is going to take 6 of those. But I would like to donate 2, or I'd like the board to donate 2 of those bleachers to Jolie Barber for their baseball field. And we have 2 green ones already, so they'll be a perfect match. They are used and a little bigger than what we need now. They'll be great for them. They're safe. There's nothing wrong with them as far as structurally goes. They're just 20 years old. Or actually older than that. They're from '84. So, yeah, they're
40.
40 years old.
Should be 20 years ago.
Yeah, it seems like 20 years ago, doesn't it? I wish it was 20 years ago. So, anyway, so I'd like for the board to consider donating those 2 sets of bleachers. Value-wise, they aluminum scrap, I don't know what they would bring, but $500-700 maybe would probably be a stretch, I would think.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
John, Gideon, motion, Ramsey, second.
Goforth,
Yes.
Glassmeyer,
Yes.
Shadle,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Gideon.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. This will go to
Comments?
council for final approval.
Ramsey.
turkey trot. I apologize. I was there with a camera, but not knowing how to use a camera. I got some good footage, but it's not good footage, so. But for everyone that wasn't there, it was actually really incredible how well those two did and the turnout, and like, I was excited to make something to show it, but kudos to those two and the rest of the people. Second, for the folks that weren't here last time, Elliot and I are working on specifically building out some ways to use Placer, formulas that will specifically hone in on areas and formulas that will show returns and how we can better use that data specifically for some of the things that we've talked about, where it's a great tool, but if we don't utilize it and pull through what we actually do and how it helps the parks and the revenue and that side of things. So Elliot and I have been messaging back and forth and building out those things. So once have access to that, he should be able to rock and roll and pull specific information and things that will help us.
Nice.
So that's all I got.
Just to make note about, the arrangements for Councilman Gibb Atkins' funeral. The visitation is tonight from Wednesday at 4 to 7 at Holman Howe. And the funeral service is tomorrow at 2 p.m. at First Baptist Church, with the burial at Mount Rose. So. Anything else?
And Gibb was a park board member at one time, too.
I'm sure he was.
Yeah, his name's on the pool plaque.
His family was his father a big,
His dad, I think at that
part.
time, I think his father was a city councilman, maybe?
So,
when it
I
went in.
I don't know, that kind of all runs
I
together.
knew he
but
had a
yes.
close tie to it,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, he's always been a big supporter of the pool and everything else, so. We lost a good one.
Okay. Nothing else? I'll call it adjourned. It's a quick one.
Yeah, gavel.
Do it.
Come on, Gab.
Once.
Come on,
just
gavel girl.
once.